And what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fun Game Friday. Today, we're back with a favorite of ours. Guess the team based on their players. Very simple. We have 5 players listed from a team in MLS, and we are going to go ahead and give them one by one. The other person is going to guess that team and the number of times it takes, or the number of players it takes to get them, the number of points they get. So you get it on the first try, you get 5 points. Get it on the last try, you get 1 point. Don't get it at all, you get 0. I'm joined by Connor, who most likely will finish this 5-round game with 0 points. Connor, how you doing?
That's 100% not true. Unless you made this the most ridiculous thing ever.
Listen, it would be something that you deserved after your
It would absolutely
ridiculous
not
cheating
be.
the last Fun Game Friday. If you haven't seen the last Fun Game Friday, we did guess a player based on their career path. And Connor, I won't give any spoilers away, but on the last player, Connor pulled out a masterclass, but I'd like for everybody to go watch his eyes as that's happening, and you let me know what you see. All right, Connor, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to go bring up the coin flipping simulator, one of our favorite websites from this podcast. I'm going to ask you, heads or tails, and do you want me to share the screen or do you trust me? Because
No,
I don't know if I trust you.
I trust you because there's no cheating in Fun Game Fridays.
One of these days, I'm absolutely gonna go and just be ridiculous and just look up everything as it happens.
I'm gonna go tails.
It is heads. I'm gonna make you guess first because I want to know where I'm at from the start. Sound good?
Whatever help you need to help win.
All right, I'm gonna start you with what I think is the easier of the few of them. I'm gonna start with our good friend Quincy Amarikwa. It's your first player.
I'm gonna guess Montreal.
There you go. 5 points. That easy, right? Super simple, super easy. That's how it's played.
Did I actually get 5 points?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I made one like again. I kind of like scaled it down like we did last time.
All right, well, are you ready for your first one then?
I am, yeah.
All right. Your first player is Juan Agudelo.
All right, Juan Agudelo. So obviously at Red Bull, but you're not. You're not that guy. You wouldn't do that. New England, and he made a short stop. And I'll ask you this, and you can kind of clarify if you want. Is this only active teams? Because if I remember correctly, my friend Juan made a stop at Chivas.
Just active teams.
Okay. Well, he was also at Minnesota.
I'll tell you, Juan's been around the block.
He has. I'm starting to. I'm getting a little bit more uncomfortable because the more I think about it, he's been a lot more places than I thought originally. Uh,
Listen, it'll get easier as you go down the list. The
that is
first
usually
player
how
is
this
going
works,
to be the
right?
toughest.
That's usually how this works. Yeah. Good job.
Well, some of us get it right on the first try.
You're welcome. Let's see. Juan. So he was at Red Bull. He was at Minnesota. He was at New England. I'm going to go Minnesota United.
Good guess. Not Minnesota.
Dang.
Player number 2, Alex Pineda Chacon.
Oh man, where did he go after the fusion fold? So it's an original 10 because he was only here for like a year or two. So that leaves Dallas, New England still up there, Red Bull, but he was never on Red Bull. San Jose, Columbus, Colorado. Then there's LA. Oh, there's KC too. All right, I'm waffling a little bit here. I'll guess Kansas City.
Not Kansas City.
No.
Your player number 3, Alexi Lalas.
I don't remember when he stopped being a player and went into GM because I know a whole bunch of teams he was a GM for, but I know he played for the Galaxy. I'll guess the Galaxy.
Good guess. It's not the Galaxy, though.
Yeah.
Player number 4, Jeff Lorenowitz.
He was at New England for a while, but he was also at Colorado for a while. We'll go Colorado.
Not Colorado.
Yeah.
Down to the final player. Your final player is Michael Parkhurst.
Yeah. New England.
It is New England.
I hate this game. I was literally sitting there. I'm like, it's New England or this other one. It's New England or this other one. And
I know. Every single time.
I remember him from New England, like as clear as I remember him from Red Bull. So I'm like, that's obvious. I'm not going that for his first player. So I'm like, all right, the third player, that's also kind of a stretch. The second, No, that's still a stretch. That's annoying.
You're doubting yourself.
Yeah. But and what I think what was frustrating is I had it there like, oh, it's New England or this other team. And then it would go to a next player. I'm like, oh, maybe it says other team, but it was always New England versus, and that's what killed me.
You should have put the pieces together. Oh, New England's been in the conversation every single time.
Listen, that's just not how the world works, man. I don't know what to tell you.
I
Okay.
am ready for my next one.
Your first player, Danilo Acosta.
Ooh, that's a throwback name. So I think he's most well remembered for RSL. I believe he's also played for Orlando and Galaxy. I'm gonna guess Orlando.
I think the recording's corrupt. I don't know if we can play this
Don't
game.
get upset because I have elite ball knowledge.
I made this too easy. I'm kind of regretting that now. Um, yeah, that's what you know. Listen, I'll give you the softball win so you can walk
You've
around and be all proud about it.
you've got the chance on the non-MLS teams to make it harder.
I do. Yeah, I do. I will definitely agree with that. All right, you're 2 for 2 on the one player. Let's see if I can catch up here.
Your first player is Brad Davis.
Okay, Brad Davis. Brad Davis had obviously Houston, SKC, and I feel like there might be a third team in there. Oh, wait. Was he part of that Houston San Jose garbage that you pulled last time too? Because you did this last time. I'm gonna start with SKC.
Good guess. Not SKC.
All right. Now if I get somebody here who's linked to San Jose, I'm going to reach through the camera and beat your ass. Because that's you pulled the same bullshit last time, and I'm gonna be so angry.
So your next player is Dwayne De Rosario.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna guess San Jose.
It is not San Jose.
You're lying.
Why would I lie?
You did. They both played at Houston too. Go ahead.
Your third player is Sebastian Latou.
Latu is
Yeah,
all
that threw a monkey wrench into things.
Latu is all over the place, dude. Red Bull. Brad Davis didn't. Oh, did Brad Davis was Red Bull the third team that Brad Davis played for? Was he drafted by Red Bull? Because Dayro was there. Latu was there. I feel like Brad Davis was a Metro Star. Can't shake the feeling, and I don't feel like dragging this on for a 4 hour recording like they did the last time. That edit was brutal. I'll just to move things along. I'll guess Red Bull.
Red Bull is a good guess because it's correct.
Nice. I'm sitting here. I'm thinking, man, that would be a really sneaky Red Bull pick because I thought he. I think he was he drafted there?
His first team was Metro Stars. But by the
Yeah.
way, Brad Davis has been on 5 different MLS teams.
Really? What were the other two?
He's got Metro Stars, Dallas was his next team, then San Jose, Houston, SKC.
Interesting. We'll go to my middle team. This is kind of like my middle feeler, so we'll see.
All right.
Your first player is Aurelian Collin.
Think Austin would be too obvious. I don't think you'd go down that route because of the own goal in the game against Violette. I think that's too obvious. He's obviously was a Red Bull. I don't think you're going Red Bull though. And he was SKC. And there's probably some other teams in there that I don't remember, and we need other players to link it. So with that in mind, I'm gonna guess SKC as my first guess.
SKC for the first time today is incorrect. By the way, own goal, Austin, not Aurelian Collin.
I thought it was him. Who was it?
You're thinking of the other center back king from Red Bull.
Wait. Oh, why am I blanking on who that is?
Egyptian king, baby. Adam's
Yeah,
favorite center back.
I know. I can't remember his name right now.
Same initials as Adam, funny enough.
Yeah. Amro Tarek.
There
Yes.
you go. Next player, Oguchi Onyewu.
I don't know where he played at all in MLS, to be
Well,
honest with you.
stop looking at your computer so you stop cheating.
I'm not looking at my computer. I'm writing the names down. That's all I'm doing. So I can't remember where Colin played, obviously. I thought he was Amro Tarek. So um I don't know where Gooch played, but for some reason it's just like Seattle is calling to me. So I'm gonna guess Seattle.
Seattle is incorrect. On to player 3, and that player is Justin Mapp.
Oh, I think the only team I know Justin Mapp played for was like Montreal. I know he played for other teams. So I think I remember Colin playing for Red Bull. So for that fact, because I can't remember where the other two have played, I'm gonna guess Red Bull.
Red Bull is incorrect. Your fourth player is Tranquillo Barnetta.
What?
Tranquillo Barnetta, however you want to pronounce it, super American.
No idea who that is.
Yeah, see that was one that you either knew it or you didn't.
All right. Well, I've made no progress on my guesses. It's obviously not Montreal. We've already done Montreal.
Oh, you don't think I'd double up on you after you cheated last time? That's wild.
No, I don't think you would. You wouldn't think to do that. That's the thing.
You're right. So you've narrowed it down.
All right. So no Montreal, no Orlando. I mean, I think that was obvious. Then I've guessed Red Bull. I've guessed SKC, and I've guessed Seattle. What is that, like 20 other teams to guess from? I
Something like
can't even
that.
remember where these other guys have played. I feel like Colin played at like Philly at some point. I don't know why. Maybe I'm remembering like a football manager save or something. I'm gonna guess Philly, Philadelphia Union.
Your football manager brain saves you. It is the Philadelphia Union.
Yes. All right. Chance for a comeback for you now, maybe.
Doors open, baby.
Something like that. It's a jar.
No, it's
Your
not.
first, what?
It's a door. It's not a jar.
You're hilarious. Your
I'm not
your
even.
first player is Eric Zavaleta.
Eric Zavaleta, LA Galaxy, currently Toronto before that. Where did they get him from? Canada is kind of calling my name here because I feel like he would have flipped around from Toronto to. So I will go with Vancouver.
It is not Vancouver. Player number two is O'Neill Fisher.
Nice. Oh, he's another guy who jumped around all over the place. He was at DC for a while. Is he a Montreal guy too? Don't remember if he was at Toronto. Oh, he might have been at DC. I'll guess DC.
It's not DC United. Your third player is Jaleel Anibaba.
Jaleel's my boy.
How much
Not
do you know about your boy?
much. He was at Chicago. He was at Seattle. He was at Nashville. Nah, Nashville doesn't work there. Where was he before? No, he started at Chicago. Because I can kind of think about O'Neill Fisher as a Seattle guy, like a bench Seattle guy. Yeah, let's go Seattle.
Seattle is correct.
Nice. Yeah. That's a shock to me. And I don't know how many appearances they had there. I'm guessing it was like a half of an appearance, the both of them.
Zavaleta had okay, Zavaleta only had five, but he started with Seattle.
All right, so just a score update as we head into the fourth round here. It is 12-7. That first round didn't do me so well. If I had gotten Juan when I was supposed to get Juan, I'd be a lot closer. But we'll go to, yeah, let's do this one. Your first player, Andrew Tarbell.
Hmm. I can't remember where he's played, honestly.
That's why he's
I,
player
I
number
think
one.
he I think he's an Austin guy, so I'll throw out Austin, but I feel like it's not Austin.
It is not Austin. Your second player is
Oh,
Juka Raitala.
that name sounds familiar for some reason, but I can't think of any teams. San Jose.
San Jose is not correct, but I like your thinking. Your third player is Dominic Oduro.
And I know Dom from Montreal. Hmm, where else did he go? I feel like he was with Columbus at one point. I'll guess Columbus. Columbus Crew.
The Columbus Crew is correct. Well done.
It was all coming back to me. Once I thought Columbus in my head, I'm like, oh wait, I feel like I could picture the other two guys there now.
I was thinking about giving you Steve Clark at player three, but I thought that was too easy.
I remember Steve. The only reason I remember Steve Clark at Columbus is our top 10 goalkeepers episode.
Nice.
So yeah, it definitely it would have made it
Yeah.
easier.
And the fifth player would have been Stern John, and that would have been dead easier.
All right, 3 points. If you can get it on the first try, it's a good opportunity to make it a close game by the end. You ready for your first player?
Yep.
Your first player is AJ De La Garza.
So digging into my MLS history here, there was a time, I
Mhm.
think it was Houston, And it goes back to our friend Alexi Lawless, where Lawless was playing, like stopped playing, went and became the head of LA Galaxy and took a bunch of their best players like Wando and not Wando, Donovan, and I think De La Garza was a part of that. So I'm just checking here to make sure I didn't miss anything. AJ's either San Jose or Houston. I don't remember which, like at what point did he go, because that was during the crossover period. So I'm gonna go with Houston.
Good guess. It is not Houston though.
Stop saying good guess. You know it's not a good guess. It's
It is
not
a
a good
good
guess
guess.
unless it's right.
Houston's on his CB.
It's not a good guess unless it's right.
Player number 2 is Mo Adams.
Goodness me, Mo Adams. Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta, Chicago. Started at Chicago, went to Atlanta, then went Nashville. I know De La Garza didn't go to Nashville. I'll go Chicago.
It is not Chicago. Player number 3, Federico Higuain.
Inter Miami? What? Hold on. Did it? This is one of those things. AJ De La Garza like breathed the air of Inter Miami one day, and you're counting him. I know it is because I remember Mo Adams. I think was expansion draft there, and Higuain only played 2 clubs. Inter Miami is my guess.
I'll have you know, Higuain played 3 clubs. It is Inter Miami though.
I would like you on the record to tell me how many games AJ De La Garza played for Inter Miami, and if it's less than 1, I'm going to be mad.
It was 5.
Is it really? That shocks me, truthfully.
That's because it was the COVID year, so we don't remember anything from that year.
Nice. All right, you are going into your last player. It is 15-10. So I need you to not get this at all, which looking at my list of players is damn near impossible. If I want to tie.
Don't doubt me. Do not doubt me.
Listen, you could find a way. I doubt you find a way, but you could find a way. We're gonna start with your first player, Chris Sykes.
I feel like he's been on a few teams. I feel like he's been with maybe Toronto or DC. Is he ever at like a Colorado? I'll guess DC United.
DC United is incorrect. Player 2, Lovell Palmer.
That did not help me at all. So with that in regard, I will guess Toronto.
Toronto is incorrect. Player number 3, Carlos Salcedo.
You sure? Sure that Toronto's not correct?
I am.
Salcedo was an RSL guy, I believe. So my guess will be for RSL.
And RSL is correct. I was banking on the fact that you didn't know where he started. But I think because of the amount of times we covered him being
That was your own downfall. You that was your own. Once you did the Defender of the Year stuff with him, that it opened up his can of worms.
Yeah, but again, that was one of those like, oh, I was picking off the list, and here's the other part of it too, right? I have to pick people that you know, right? Like I need to pick names that you know. I can't drop in like players that I know that you don't. Otherwise, you'd be like, I don't know who these players are. This
I mean,
isn't
you do it
fair.
anyway. I
Yeah,
don't
but
know who
but here's the thing.
Tranquilo
I could do
Barnetta
it for
is.
every single one of them, by the way.
All
Like,
right, well, if you did it for every single one, that would be ridiculous. You throw in a couple, like that's. I mean,
like
it's fair game.
when I go in and look at like the brackets I was telling you about, I have to remove like half of them right off the bat because like, oh, Connor wouldn't know who these are.
And let me tell you, I'm sure half the people, more than half the people listening, probably also don't know who they are.
I am put at an immediate disadvantage for Connor's lack of ball knowledge past 2017. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think a lot of the player, I think almost every player on this list, with a few exceptions, has played prior to 2017.
Yeah, and you just read them off.
I know who they are. Every person I picked in my list, I knew who they were. I would not pick a person I don't know who they are.
Yay! On you go.
All right, you ready for your last one?
Let's do it.
All right. Your first player is Raheem Edwards.
Goody me. I was about to get him confused with Richie Larea. We have done his career path before too. We did it in a different episode.
We did Raheem's?
Like last season when we did our very first guess the player.
Channel that ball knowledge.
See if I can
Where's he
remember.
been?
He's Toronto. He is obviously LA, Montreal. He's been back to Montreal now. I know I'm missing one easy one, I think. So with Vancouver too, he might have been.
Just say all the Canadian teams, why don't you?
Well, that's kind of what I'm
Oh,
going.
he's Canadian. He has to play for all the Canadian teams.
I'm gonna go with Vancouver.
Wrong. What you get for assuming all the Canadians play for all the Canadian teams. Never even played for Vancouver.
Neither did you, so shut up.
But I've been there.
Yeah, you probably could put yourself on here then, because that's what happened.
Yeah, I will next time.
They were in the general vicinity. They were in the homegrown territory of this team,
I'm gonna
so they
flip it.
count.
Instead of guessing the team, I'm just gonna put myself and I'm just gonna list off the places I've been to, and you're gonna have to guess. I don't have enough yet for a list, so I gotta wait a couple years.
Alrighty,
All right, your player number two is Benny Feilhaber.
LAFC.
It is
Yeah,
LAFC.
I remember I told you I was like I'm missing one, and I'm running down the list. I'm like that was the one I was missing.
Think you were missing a couple actually.
No, but
Name's
that
been
was like
around.
that was in my head where I was like I remember I
No,
was thinking past the career path and I skipped over one, and I was like I'll come back to it. That was the one.
that's the one.
Alrighty, so that game finishes 18-21 in my favor. I get extra points.
Yeah.
I get
We're
extra points because Connor put me at a disadvantage. I start with a handicap, right?
oh yeah, because I mean, in fairness, you do need a handicap because my ball knowledge is just that much better.
I'll tell you, I did get it close, 14-18. I thought it would be a way bigger blowout after. If I had picked Juan Hagudelo on the start, I would have won.
Well, you
That's
didn't.
annoying. Oh well. Well,
You
again, we give
overthought
we
it.
we give Connor the easy layup so that he can win.
Yeah,
So
something like that.
glad he enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys were able to guess along better than some of us. And we will see you next time on the next Fun Game Friday. See ya.